In K-pop Demon Hunters, the Honmoon is a seal that keeps demons away, and the golden Honmoon would make that protection permanent. But believe it or not, the secret to the golden Honmoon is contained in the intro to the song Golden, written and performed by Korean-American artist EJ. And this secret is why Rumi is having a hard time singing this specific note.
Rumi?
This is how Golden works musically, and spoilers ahead. So how do you protect the world from demons? You sing a golden song, a song where protection is part of every fiber of your being, where you can just be golden. But the problem is Rumi can't be golden, she's part demon.
I was a ghost, I was alone.
This melody symbolizes Rumi's inner demons and consists of an upward struggle from G to A to B. It is Rumi at her lowest, which is mirrored by the fact that she's singing this in the low part of her range. That upward three-note melody is contrasted later by the chorus, a downward three-note melody going from D to C and resolving down to B. Yes, that's right. In both melodies, Rumi is striving to be.
Is that a pun?
But the downward melody in the chorus comes from her outward display of power and confidence, which ultimately comes from suppressing her demon side, which she has to push down with a downward melody in order to be golden. So how do you suppress your own being? You work extra hard to leap up, up, up on top of those inner demons so you can take them down.
Take down? Take down!
So the melody is filled with many melodic leaps up, followed by stepwise motion pushing back down. It's a melodic pattern that represents her response to the demon patterns on her skin. But singing these big leaps is a lot of work. What we're hearing is someone who is overexerting themselves to leap and make this type of existence work. She even pushes up the golden release to push this perfect image of herself out there. And when you overexert yourself like this, you might burn out. It's unsustainable to do this much work just to be yourself. That's why the most powerful moment in Golden is when Rumi sings this line. Here she sings the word be, not on the note B, but on a higher G note. But it's the way she sings that high G that is more impressive. She approaches it from the note directly below, F sharp, to G. Now, even though this is a high note, it is not reached by pushing down or suppressing anything. No, it is a joyful high note supported by this upward resolution. In other words, it breaks the melodic pattern, just like Rumi is trying to break the pattern on her skin.
I will finally be free of these patterns.
This is what being in the positive sense sounds like. Yet she has a barrier to reaching this joyful high G. This upper G note is still unreachable when she has not reconciled her demon self. In fact, the demon side has reached her vocal cords, preventing her from singing this high note of self-actualization. But that high note itself might be part of the problem. Songwriter EJ said, "I feel all Koreans can relate to this high standard. It's so much perfectionist pressure. That's how it felt to me. Sometimes it's okay to be broken. That's what makes you human." In other words, Rumi needs to figure out how to be comfortable in her own skin without exhausting herself, to not constantly push, but to relax and just be. The turning point comes in the bridge of the song when for the first time we hear a new chord. But before I get into the significance of this chord, I want to mention that this website I'm showing, Analyzing Golden, is today's sponsor. Hook Theory, a music theory website with a ton of tools for songwriters, musicians, and anyone looking to learn about music. In fact, they have a database of over 60,000 chord and melody analyses of your favorite songs and artists. And if you want to use these analyses and search tools to help you create your own songs, they even have a powerful songwriting sketchpad, HookPad, with built-in tools to help you intuitively compose the next chord progression or melody for your song. And best of all, Hook Theory is offering my viewers a discount of 20% off their regular subscription if you go to hooktheory.com/HowardHo, link in the description. And thanks, Hook Theory. Okay, now back to talking about the bridge of Golden. Up to this point, we've heard these two chord progressions. In the verses, we get C major, G major, D major, and E minor. And in the chorus, we get C major, D major, G major, D major in first inversion, and E minor again. It's the same four chords, but just in a slightly different order. Both progressions begin with C major and end in E minor, and the two chords sandwiched in between are G major and D major in the verses, and then flipped around D major to G major in the chorus, and even this D major in first inversion is really just the same chord as D major. The bridge of the song, however, introduces us to a new chord, and it's this B minor that resolves up to a C major, supporting Rumi with this upward motion. And this B minor chord comes right as Rumi is putting on her golden armor of symbolic protection while singing the words, which itself is being sung on this upward melody of F sharp to G that represents her positive being. Rumi has both the chords below and the melody on top in supportive alignment. She's able to just be who she is because she is being supported by this B chord. This ideal of defeating her demons and living in the positive is what she has to believe is possible for her. But it's not until the final chorus of the song that we hear what true positive being in a sustainable manner sounds like. Rumi sings, but this time she sings these lyrics without needing any big laborious leaps or any pushing down to suppress her own being. Instead, she resolves the note up from A to B. The same A to B resolution that represented her inner demons is now fully integrated into her golden self. Oh yeah, so how does this relate to the Honmoon? Well, if you look at these notes from the intro, you'll see that the resolution from A to B was built into the intro as the very first two notes. Not only that, the notes in the intro are all stepwise, meaning that there are no leaps, kind of forming this wave, if you will. This wave-like melody even resembles the wavy lines of the Honmoon itself. Sure, this melody also features downward motion, but the downward motion here is followed by the melody picking itself right back up with a balancing upward motion, making this melody feel resilient, stable, and sustainable in the long run. In other words, it's golden. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you to all my patrons on Patreon. Please subscribe for more musical breakdowns and stay golden.